So I've been the treasurer for several seasons on DadSpeed, and tried to set up and run economies in a few different ways. But now that we're past day 100 in the current Season 7, how does it stack up with prior seasons, going all the way back to Season 4? I'll give a minor spoiler and tell you that it's quite the juxtaposition between then and now, but which one is better? Let me start by talking about Season 4, which had a very different economic model than the current season. What was different about it is that the distribution of currency was very slow, and there were really only two ways for citizens to acquire money withdrawn directly from the treasury. One was by selling gold to the mint, where in exchange they got cash, and the other was by performing certain government projects, like the ever-popular road building, and contributing to a few other government build programs, like our waste disposal site. Now, even though a citizen could earn money through selling their product to other players, that's just really taking money from someone else and putting it into their own pocket, moving money from one player to the next. This is actually a good thing, and something that is still strongly promoted in the current season. But what it also means is that these are the only two ways in which currency was distributed amongst the citizens. This slow distribution also reduced the total amount of currency available in the world. Coupled on with the distribution was also a completely different mechanism around taxation. Season 4 had more of a cyclic economy. I just described how money was distributed, but in a similar fashion, there was a series of taxes which pull the money back into the treasury. We had a sales tax, a property tax, a wealth tax, and they were set up in a way to return back to the treasury an amount that was almost equivalent to the currency being distributed. For Season 4, this was intentional. But you might be asking, from that mechanism, how is it possible for the citizens to ever gain wealth if the amount of money distributed was being reclaimed through taxes? The answer there lies in a kind of economic entropy that I've described before. The treasury still printed money, almost weekly, and this was to restore the currency lost to this entropy. The way to think about that is that any time a block is placed in the world, or someone eats a piece of food, or burns some charcoal, any effort and money put into producing that product is essentially lost to the world. The printing of currency from the mint was purely to replace this lost money. So, after Season 4 had put just a little over 1 million in circulation worldwide, these taxes were balanced, and the overall wealth across the server remained stable. The currency in circulation would simply change hands from one person to the next, and any growth in expanding a person's warehouse, building a new store, making a fancy home, or anything like that was compensated for through that entropy I just described. This had a couple interesting effects on the world's economy. One was, like I stated, very slow growth. A player would gain some money, do a little bit of building, then sell more gold to the mint, or participate in one of the government projects to get some more money, then build a little more. But there was another effect: hungry players. Acquiring money was quite difficult, so any build program that came online was immediately jumped on by a number of citizens. They were eager, hungry. Anytime a game challenges a player to be able to advance, those challenges usually add a little bit of fun to the game. It makes it hard, but in some ways, Season 4 was a bit too hard. Even though a handful of people did wind up making some very nice builds in the form of homes and stores, truly epic and monster builds were relatively rare, and it seemed as though the slow growth pinched down people's creative ability. They may have wanted to create some grandiose project, but just didn't have the funds to do it, or it was taking so long to get the funds that they ran out of motivation. So the slow growth created a nice challenge, but it also inhibited a player's ability to be able to freely create and do the things they really wanted to do. So with that bit of backdrop, let's fast forward now all the way to the current season, Season 7. Season 7 is a bit similar to Season 6, in that it took on a different kind of economic model than Season 4. Season 6 and 7 had a much higher rate of currency distribution to the citizens, and Season 7 definitely has surpassed all prior seasons in terms of the amount of total money in circulation. Part of this was due to the gaining popularity of the server and having more people, but also the 4-town concept that was introduced essentially meant needing to produce enough currency to supply not just one government, but 4 independent townships plus a federal government. Even though it wasn't necessarily viewed this way by the citizens, both Season 6 and Season 7 have had a zero tax policy almost across the board. There are a few taxes in place just to deter certain types of actions and route people to more mutually beneficial activities, but in terms of any taxes flowing back into the federal treasury, there really are none. Any taxes this season are there as a mechanism to be able to provide funding to the local townships in a similar manner that a single federal government would do through minting money. We just do it through a single federal mint, but then distribute that money through a tax system to the towns. But nothing comes directly back to the federal government who originally printed the money. So there's no cyclic activity like we saw in Season 4. We're really just using the towns as an intermediate distribution point for the currency. This has had the exact opposite effect as what I described in that earlier season. This season, I've seen more personal, amazing, epic builds using a wider variety of top-tier materials than I've ever seen in any other season. The money has literally been flowing out of the treasury into both the township treasuries and directly to the citizens through a whole series of subsidies, kickbacks, various incentives, and in addition to some of the standard build programs. It's actually been pretty incredible. In a way, this season has materialized the vision I think a lot of people have around what eco can be and should be. Impressive cities with lavish homes and creatively designed workshops, not just here and there, but scattered all over the world in abundance. It's past day 100, and a lot of those impressive citizen build ideas are still unfolding. I was a little worried about what the side effect would be of this high rate of currency distribution. I was afraid that it would take away that kind of challenge and hard grind like I described in Season 4, and that people would lose interest because everything felt like it came a little too easy. And to some extent, I think that's probably been a little bit the case, but from what I've seen, that's been greatly offset and outweighed by the greater freedom the players have to delve into one of Eco's core capabilities, which is a kind of builder game. To have this kind of activity on a server that's over 100 days old is really impressive. In fact, to even have any kind of regular activity on a 100-day server at almost any time of the day or night is truly rare in this game. And to celebrate this rather rare phenomenon, I'm giving away a free copy of Eco, courtesy of the good people at DadSpeed. To enter this giveaway, just enter the key phrase Earth Videos in the comments of this video or any other video I've produced during this month of October for a chance to win. I'll do a random drawing after the end of the month and announce the winner in a subsequent video. It's not too late to enter and enjoy this Season 7 playthrough and its community. I have no idea how long this season will continue, but it looks like it still has some legs, and new players joining have just as much opportunity to be productive and contribute to the economy as those from day one. So some folks have joined, done what they wanted to, then left, while others have joined more recently and quickly become productive members of this eco-society. So this kind of evolving player participation has also been a really positive side effect of the higher wealth distribution. as well as the overall server's philosophy to always make room for new players. I've got a lot of videos lined up in the queue, and I'm looking forward to breaking some new ground. But until next time, good luck on the eco drawing, and I'll be talking to you later.